Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be my first Halloween video of the season. I am super excited about this one. As you can tell from the title, it is going to be a pop art zombie. I know these were huge last year and I really wanted to do one, but by the time it would take me to order all of the paints and everything I would need, Halloween would have already passed. So I waited a whole year to do the pop art zombie and I'm so excited. I know there's a bunch of videos like this from last year, but I just really wanted to do my own, and I thought if I'm going to be doing one, why not film it? I don't really have a plan. I'm still not sure what color I want my zombie to be, so we're going to see how this goes. But I will be taking off this robe. I do have just a strapless top on, just so you know. The reason I have that on is because I'm going to be taking the face, not just taking the face paint down my neck and onto my shoulders as well. So yeah, let's get started. Oh, and I also have been watching Skin Wars. It's on Netflix if you haven't seen it, and it's got me super inspired, and me and Libby are addicted to watching it. So if you haven't already, check them out because I don't know, it's just so cool to see people make works of art on someone's body. Like, what? So I'm actually going to press play and watch some Skin Wars while I paint my zombie.
First things first, I'm going to be outlining my mouth with the green Snazaroo face paint. I got the Snazaroo face paint palette off of Amazon for like 30 bucks, and I actually really like these paints. I'm outlining my mouth, or mouths, because I'm doing multiple little mouth sections, in green because I decided I wanted my zombie to be a basic green zombie. I actually wish it would have turned out brighter, but that's okay. I still think it turned out pretty good. Outlining it in the color that you're going to be painting yourself just helps everything blend without having like these harsh black lines. We are going to be outlining everything in black later, but for the initial base, I'm just going to be outlining them in green. I also am looking at reference pictures while I am painting this, just because it helps to see a visual of what you're trying to paint. I have several, and I just pulled aspects from each one that I liked to create my own creation. And I highly recommend you have a reference picture because it helps a lot. So as you can tell, I stopped outlining the mouth to outline my brain, and I am going to be jumping around quite a bit just because I wasn't sure exactly what I was doing. So you'll see me outline the brain, and then I'm gonna fixing to start paint my whole face with green, and then I'll stop doing that and jump to something else. So I am kind of sporadic in here, but it all comes together in the end, I promise. Here I'm just starting to fill in my mouth areas with the white face paint just because this is where I'm going to place my teeth. I will admit I feel like I could have done a better job on my teeth, but yeah. I did start to fill them in with white, and then I started to line my teeth using black face paint, and then you see me quit because I was like, no. Now I'm just taking that black face paint and outlining my nose just to kind of black it out. You can do whatever shape that you want. I just decided to go with the classic skull blackout nose, and I will fill that in. Using the red face paint, I am just going to fill in the gaps between the outline of my mouth and my teeth. This is going to be my gums, if you will, and we'll do some shading so it doesn't look so 2D and flat. You can tell I started to fill in one eye blue. I actually will change the color on that eye quite a bit because I don't know what I want to do with it. But here I am just going to create an orange under eye bag, if you will. I just wanted to do a different color underneath here and kind of make it look like I got punched in the eye or like I haven't slept in a while, and I thought orange would be a fun color to do that with. I decided to outline my lips with blue face paint because, well, it's fun and it's pop art, so you can really do any lip color you want. But I thought walking around all the time, being a cold dead zombie, your lips would be cold and maybe they would turn blue? I don't know. So you can see here that I painted over that blue eye with white face paint. That's not going to last either, but I'm also outlining my lips just with black face paint and a small brush. I'm not really doing it super detailed or anything. You can go more defined if you want. I was just kind of like, meh, let's just outline the lips. Then I also added a black line in the center and had little cracks going through, and I'm going to outline my exposed teeth as well. I kind of got out of frame, but you get the picture. You're just outlining what you already outlined before. So I'd also gone over my brows with a purple eyeshadow, but I didn't like that. So I'm outlining my eyebrows with black face paint, and then I'm just going to fill them in. Here I am just going in and making little squiggly slash macaroon noodle looking lines for my brain. I didn't really have a reference picture for this. I was just like, random lines will have to do. And it turned out okay. You could look at a reference picture for a brain. Actually, I'd kind of recommend it because it might look more like a brain, but I just didn't do that. So I'm also going in with a black matte shadow and just kind of shading around the brain in certain areas, and then I'll go in with a white face paint and a small detailed brush and add some highlights. Alright, so here I am just going in with some more black face paint and outlining where the teeth meet the gums, and I'm also adding tiny little cracks in the teeth because you're a zombie, your teeth are not going to be perfect, let's be real. Now I'm just going in and adding lines and wrinkles around the mouth to show that it's lifted, like you're grimacing. I'm also going to add lines on my forehead, like I furrowed my brows, and I'm going to outline my orange eye bag and add wrinkles and folds underneath there to really give it the effect that I got punched in the eye or something happened to this eye. I will go in and add wrinkles, folds, other texture like lines to the rest of my face. It just depends on wherever I feel like I need it. There really isn't a rhyme or reason to most of this. I'm just like, oh, I'll add a line here, add some dimension here, look like it's raised or that it's creased. I'm also going to go in with a white face paint and highlight those areas just to create more depth. Here you can tell I got sick of all the different colors and just decided to black out my eye. So I'm going over it with black face paint and then I'm letting it dry, and eventually I will go over it with a matte black eyeshadow to deepen it up. Now I'm just taking that black eyeshadow. I'm using the Kat Von D one just because I feel like hers is the most pigmented and black. And I'm just going to shade everywhere that I've shaded with the black face paint and just go over it, deepen it up, blend it out, and give it more dimension and depth rather than just having harsh black lines on my face. Taking the white face paint, I'm just going to highlight that blacked out eyeball and continue to highlight some areas I feel like need some lightness back into it. Alright, so now we're going to be working on the neck and chest portion. I'm going to be painting these white kind of squares that cinch in on the sides a little bit to be kind of like the vertebrae, but I also wanted to paint my collarbones. You don't have to, I just wanted to have some collarbones. So I started to paint myself green, but then I decided that I wanted a little exposed wound on my shoulder. I saw a lot of this type of wound on other pop art zombies, and I thought it was really like cute looking, if you will, for an exposed wound. So I decided to add one to my shoulder. And I'm also going to outline kind of the opening to my exposed skeleton. I'm really not doing this in any sort of shape, just kind of winging it, and I'm going to fill that in with black. I finished painting myself green. I'm just kind of touching up some areas. I also painted my open wound on my shoulder red, but I will go in with some black and shade it here and there. And I'm also going to take some black and create little lines and shading on my bones so they're not just flat shapes that are painted on. Now it all comes down to small little details that you can add or not. I'm just kind of putting highlights here and there where I want them, and then I'll go in with shadows and just continue to work with it until I get the desired result.
Okay, so that completes this comic book pop art zombie. I actually really like how it turned out. I kind of wish the green was a little bit more bright, or like the blue is a little bit more bright, so maybe I would just change the color on that. But I mean, overall, I really like it. I think it's really cool. You show up to a party like this and people are gonna be like, wow, like you obviously put effort and time into doing your costume. This is your first time like painting yourself. This was my first time painting myself. I would definitely recommend having like reference pictures. I just googled pop art zombies and looked at a bunch of pictures and pulled from what I liked and kind of created this pop art zombie. But I hope you have a happy Halloween and maybe get some inspiration from this. And if not, I just hope you enjoyed watching me struggle to paint myself. So I'm actually going to go wash this off and then get into bed. Sadly, I won't be going anywhere with this makeup on. Maybe for Halloween I'll recreate it, but I really enjoyed it and I hope you did too. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye guys.